Sneha Deepam, the lamp of love. Lakshmi, a wealthy individual, is married to Sridharan, and they have a daughter named Usha. Lakshmi's brother is Chandran. Her husband, Sridharan, manages the factory that belongs to her family. Sridharan's assistant manager, Shankar, arrives to meet him. They're making arrangements to go to a dance program together. Sridharan and Shankar are unhappy that Sridharan's family will be joining them for the dance program. Following the program, Shankar introduced Sridharan to Vilasini, the dancer. Sridharan presented her with a monetary gift. When Sridharan was about to go to the dance program for a second time the following day, he was teased by both Chandran and Lakshmi. An employee at the factory approached Sridharan seeking financial help for his wife's medical emergency, but Sridharan denied the request. Upon seeing the situation, Chandran stepped in and helped the employee. The employees voiced their grievances about Sridharan and Shankar to Chandran, urging him to assume the role of manager. According to Shankar, Chandran's actions of helping employees wouldn't do the factory any good. Sridharan, displeased with Chandran's conduct, told him not to become too close with the employees. Chandran pointed out that employee dissatisfaction with Sridharan's conduct was already present. He requested that Sridharan delegate some responsibilities to him. After he departed, Shankar warned Sridharan that Chandran was poised to assume complete control of the factory. He stated that Chandran was cultivating a relationship with the employees to secure their backing in Sridharan's removal. He further recalled that Chandran's father's will stipulated Chandran would inherit complete ownership of the factory. Karnan and Nani began working at the factory, keeping their marriage a secret. Shankar and Sridharan are conspiring to murder Chandran. Shankar's goons assaulted Chandran, who then fell unconscious. The arrival of another car caused the goons to flee. Prabha and her mother, Kalyani, came upon him and subsequently saved him. Seeing that Chandran is late, Lakshmi is concerned. With a goodbye to Prabha, Chandran departed for his home. Shankar is with Vilasini and her mother, Devaki Amma. Their plan is to exploit Sridharan and take possession of all his assets. He tells them Chandran is dead, which pleases Devaki but not Vilasini. Just as Chandran was departing Prabha's home, he noticed Shankar pulling up in the very same car that the goons who attacked him had used. The fact that Prabha is Shankar's daughter came to light. He informed Kalyani that his schemes were progressing well and Sridharan had fallen under Vilasini's spell. Upon Sridharan's arrival home, Lakshmi shared her worry, stating that Chandran had left the office quite some time ago. Under the mistaken belief that Chandran had been killed, Sridharan shared his thoughts on the perilous nature of vast riches. Much to Sridharan's astonishment, Chandran appeared and informed Lakshmi that he had just experienced a small accident. He informed Sridharan that he had been attacked and expressed his suspicion that Shankar was responsible. Sridharan stated that Shankar was a respectable person, but added that he would now monitor Shankar's activities. Vilasini and Devaki anticipate Sridharan's arrival during the night. Sridharan set off to visit Vilasini, unaware that Chandran had spotted him and was now following. Just as he was about to step into Vilasini's home, he spotted Chandran and quickly made his escape. Chandran questioned Vilasini about Sridharan's presence at her home, but she became defensive and fought back. A quarrel erupted between them, leading Chandran to insist they vacate the premises at once. But Devaki insulted him and drove him away. At the same time, Sridharan roused Lakshmi, pointing out that Chandran's bedroom was empty. He informed her that Chandran was with a prostitute, elaborating that he had followed Chandran and witnessed him entering a prostitute's residence. Upon hearing this, Lakshmi reacted with anger and sadness, though Sridharan advised her against discussing it with Chandran. He said he would gently converse with him and provide advice over time. Despite Sridharan's earlier advice, when Chandran came home, Lakshmi accused him, having been swayed by Sridharan's story. Lakshmi didn't trust Chandran's explanation when he stated he had been following Sridharan. Chandran tried to expose Sridharan by calling him a cheat, which resulted in Lakshmi slapping Chandran. She demanded that Chandran leave the house immediately and never set foot in it again. Her profound distrust deeply hurt him, causing him to go away. On his way, Karnan and Nani met him, and he told them he was going to Bombay. Lakshmi discovered Chandran's absence. Chandran happened to see Prabha and entrusted Lakshmi and Usha to her care. Following this, she confessed her love to him. Lakshmi finds a letter from Chandran, which made her cry and asks Sridharan to search for him. Prabha came to Lakshmi's house, presenting Usha with balloons and informing Lakshmi that they were from Chandran. Lakshmi promptly phoned Sridharan's office, stating that Chandran was en route to Bombay. She pleaded for Sridharan to be informed so he could stop Chandran at the railway station. With Sridharan not at the office, Lakshmi and Prabha made their way to the railway station together. Shankar hired 2 goons with the intent of having them follow and kill Chandran. The train had begun to move by the time Lakshmi reached the station. Sridharan saw news in the paper of a Chandran reportedly falling from a train and dying, a revelation that brought him satisfaction. However, Sridharan acted sorrowful and displayed the news to Lakshmi, who subsequently collapsed. The news, however, brought happiness to both Vilasini and Devaki. Sridharan sent back the food Lakshmi sent, stating he was too depressed to eat. But he went to Vilasini's home and ate there instead. He requested Vilasini refrain from dancing in public, offering to provide for her financially. Chandran made a phone call, which Usha picked up. However, Lakshmi was unconvinced when Usha informed her that Chandran had called. After being abducted by two thieves, Chandran found himself imprisoned by a tribe. The tribal leader's daughter helps him escape. Sridharan deceived Lakshmi, claiming the company was struggling. When the employees requested a bonus, Shankar responded that there wasn't sufficient funds to cover their salaries. He told them he was just like them, an employee, and recommended a strike until their demands for money were met. The employees began a strike. Knowing Sridharan was with Vilasini, they all went to her house and started raising slogans. Devaki came outside and exchanged heated words. During Prabha's lesson with Usha, the child brought up Chandran in conversation. Just then, the employees reached the location. They explained to Lakshmi that they hadn't been paid for 3 months. Saying she had no funds, Lakshmi gave them her bangles, explaining it was all she had. The employees declined her offer and departed. Prabha started crying after Shankar arrived home and stated her wedding would take place in 5 days. She claimed Shankar was responsible for ruining Sridharan's family. Her mother dragged her into a room and closed the door, ensuring she couldn't escape. While Sridharan was with Vilasini, a press reporter arrived to meet him. Sridharan introduced Vilasini as his wife. The reporter mentioned that he wanted to discuss Chandran's death with her. Sridharan led Vilasini to another room and informed her that the person wasn't a reporter, but likely a policeman. The reporter asked questions, and Vilasini gave confusing answers, causing him to leave suspiciously. Prabha arrived to meet Lakshmi and shared the news that she would be getting married the very next day. Lakshmi, delighted by the news, gave her a gold chain as a gift. The press reporter called at that time, requesting to speak with Sridharan. Lakshmi responded that she was Sridharan's wife and that he was at the factory. The reporter then mentioned he'd forgotten to ask her a question previously. After Lakshmi claimed she'd never met him, the reporter inquired if she was Vilasini, Sridharan's wife, and Lakshmi was devastated. Sridharan came home drunk at that moment, making Lakshmi cry even more. Lakshmi questioned him about Vilasini's identity, and he immediately asked who had given her that information. After she revealed a press reporter told her, Sridharan immediately began to scold her for speaking with strangers and believing their words. Totally devastated, Lakshmi received comfort from Prabha. Prabha and her mother went to a temple, where they saw a sage sitting in front of it and sought his blessings. Prabha looked up and discovered the sage was actually Chandran, which made her incredibly happy. However, her mother failed to recognize him. When Chandran arrived to see Prabha that night, she updated him on the situation at Lakshmi's house. Chandran stated he didn't want to separate Sridharan and Lakshmi, adding that Sridharan was fundamentally a good person. He plans to transform Sridharan into a better individual so that Lakshmi can have a happy family life. On the day of Prabha's wedding, she was nowhere to be found. The sage, who was Chandran in disguise, came and told Shankar not to worry, saying everything would work out. Nani received a letter from her supervisor, expressing his interest and requesting a meeting by the temple. As Shankar and his wife sat in sorrow, a letter landed before them, instructing them to pay a ransom to get Prabha back. Shankar, along with a group of goons, went in search of Prabha. At that time, Chandran brought Prabha home, having changed his appearance. Prabha explained to her mother that he paid the ransom and thereby saved her from her abductors. He received the amount from Prabha's mother. While waiting, Shankar spotted Nani's supervisor. Believing him to be the kidnapper, they launched an attack on him. Shankar returned home and was met with the surprising sight of Prabha. Chandran, appearing as a balloon and toy seller, went to Lakshmi's home. He presented toys to the child, yet left without accepting money. Lakshmi's ornaments were stolen by Sridharan. Returning to Lakshmi's home the next day to collect payment, Chandran took the first chance he got to rush to the first floor. When the servant saw him descending, he offered some excuses. Sridharan gives the ornaments to Vilasini. After Lakshmi realized her ornaments were gone, they suspected the toy seller had stolen them. Prabha attempted to dissuade Lakshmi from calling the police, but Lakshmi was adamant. Prabha bolted out to give Chandran a warning. A search for the toy seller was launched by the police. Chandran passed the toy stand to Karnan before escaping with Prabha. Chandran was told by Prabha that the ornaments had disappeared. The police mistakenly arrested Karnan and brought him to Lakshmi, who then stated he was not the person who had come earlier. After Lakshmi informed Sridharan of the incidents, he started faulting her for being inept. Usha spotted a person on a motorcycle, believed it was Chandran, and ended up falling as she chased it. Seeing this unfold, Chandran, disguised in a different outfit, intervened to help them. Lakshmi tried to reach Sridharan at his office to inform him about getting a doctor, but he was absent, a common occurrence. To inform Sridharan, an employee ran to Vilasini's house, but Sridharan, being totally drunk, turned him away. The doctor who cared for Usha was mistakenly thought by Lakshmi to have been sent by Sridharan. However, Chandran was actually responsible for his arrival. Chandran meets Karnan and discloses who he really is. Sridharan was in no condition to walk, so Chandran took him home when he arrived very late. Lakshmi understood it wasn't Sridharan who sent the doctor. Shankar, Devaki, and Vilasini are conspiring to seize control of Lakshmi's company. Sridharan found Vilasini absent when he visited her, as she was at a dance program he had explicitly told her not to go to. A dispute erupts between them over the matter. Sridharan is completely disarmed when Devaki warns him, referencing their knowledge of the killer of Chandran. Sridharan tells Lakshmi that they're struggling financially and suggests they rent out a portion of their bungalow. Nani starts working as Vilasini's servant. Karnan briefs Chandran on Vilasini. Vilasini and Devaki arrive at Lakshmi's house to live there as renters. Vilasini tells Lakshmi that she should live in a room as a tenant, leaving Lakshmi shocked. Sridharan intervenes, instructing Lakshmi to go indoors. Devaki and Vilasini start ordering Sridharan around. Vilasini was disturbed by Chandran's photos at night and asked Nani to remove them. Lakshmi goes to call Sridharan, who mistakes her for Vilasini when he opens the door. Seeing it's Lakshmi, he becomes angry and shouts at her. With everyone asleep, Chandran enters the house accompanied by Karnan, who is dressed as a scary man. Nani shows Chandran the location of the key to Devaki's suitcase. Chandran then takes Lakshmi's ornament box from it and replaces it with another box. Vilasini wakes to the sight of Chandran, screams, thinking he's a ghost. Devaki leaps up, sees Karnan, and faints on the spot. As Nani flips on the lights, Vilasini and Devaki bolt. Sridharan's attempt to stop them is unsuccessful, and they get away. Shankar stirs up the employees, claiming Sridharan is the source of the factory's problems, and encourages them to retaliate. Sridharan happens to overhear it. Sridharan answers the employees' questions with an act of violence against one of them, which then incites them to violence. Karnan tells Lakshmi about this, and she immediately heads to the factory. Vilasini and Devaki decide to flee after Nani tells them the factory is ablaze and Sridharan is dead. Reaching the factory, Lakshmi pleads with the employees to remain calm and delivers a deeply moving speech. Lakshmi gains the employees' support, but the individual Sridharan wounded earlier ignites Sridharan's office before anything else can happen. Sridharan is rescued by Chandran, who leaps into the room, though Sridharan fails to recognize his savior. Vilasini and Devaki are in the midst of packing when Shankar appears, insisting on his portion of the money they gained from Sridharan. After they decline, he draws a pistol and issues a threat. Sridharan walks in at that moment, and Shankar is about to assault him. Chandran comes to Sridharan's rescue, at which point he discloses that he is Chandran. Prabha pleads with him not to harm her father, and Chandran agrees to forgive him. Sridharan implores Chandran to forgive him. He states that Sridharan's apology should be directed at Lakshmi, whom he deceived. The ornaments Sridharan had stolen are tossed by Chandran directly in front of him. Lakshmi, seeking Sridharan, sees Chandran as alive and is filled with happiness. As Vilasini and Devaki run, they fall, and the ornament box opens to reveal it's filled only with stones. Vilasini discovers her anklets, the ones she wears for dancing, and embraces them. Having worked through their problems and come together, Sridharan and Lakshmi decide to get Chandran and Prabha married. The movie concludes.